Chapter tuned. Today we are working on the Mustang, the Chevstang. This car has kind of completely transformed over the last couple weeks. I did not film a lot of the process, but we did change a lot of parts on the car. It is now featuring a built-up rear end. You guys probably did see the last couple videos I did, just kind of introducing the parts that we were going to put into the car. I'm not really good with like rebuilding rear ends and stuff like that, so I did take the rear end to my buddy. He helped me set up the gear pitch, the backlash, all that kind of stuff. We put all new bearings in it, and we also did, seals and stuff like that. So it has strange 35 spline axles with a full spool, same gear ratio, 373, and just new bearings and stuff like that. C-clip eliminated axles as well. We have brand new rear brakes, drums, shoes, hardware, you name it. The rear suspension on the car has changed quite a bit too, to a Team Z setup in the rear. So it has the double adjustable lower control arms and the upper arms with the relocated upper bracket, which helps the instant center of the car. Compared to the old stuff that was in the car, this thing should be just way better. Up front, we are featuring a brand new front bumper. You guys can't really see it right now because the dyno fan's in the way, but I may insert a picture that I took the other day and put on Facebook. And then obviously up front we do have more parts as well. We have Viking coilovers, strange single adjustable shocks, the K-member from UPR, A-arms from UPR, bump steer from UPR. Car's all aligned. I took it to the alignment shop. Everything's good to go. The car drives straight as an arrow. And now we're just working out some of the bugs with Holley. So we also have switched the car over to Holley EFI. It is on a Terminator X. And I figured I would bring you guys along for some dyno tuning today and seeing how much more power we can lay down with the Chevstang. I may do some separate little smaller videos that may get popped up on the channel here, just with like, how to set up your dash or how to set up your, how to write and configure files with the Holley. I might do some of that stuff just today, depending on how much ambition I have with filming. But it's tough when I don't really know something 100%. I don't like filming it. So if I can't easily explain something to you guys, it's really hard for me to film it, just because my brain is focusing on learning. And if I try to film all that stuff, it's kind of tough for me mentally to be able to do all that at once. And I just feel like the videos aren't as good. But I know they're probably even better when I struggle, which I'm going to try to get better at. Whatever, I could just go on and on about how much I should be filming and I'm not. So we do have the 3.5-inch dash that comes with the Terminator X, and we also have the 7-inch dash that I added into the car as well. We wired this whole thing. I have a new switch panel up here. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera or not. Let me get a light. There we go. There's my new switch panel. Starter button. And we have the Holley runs on the first switch. Everything really runs on the first switch. And then the second switch is like my lighting and stuff like that. And then the 3 and 4 I still have stuff I could put on. And then we have the ECU just mounted down here. All the wiring, relays, and stuff like that, I kind of got to tidy up, but nonetheless, everything is working, everything is happy, and I'm blown away by Holley, honestly, guys. I did a little dyno run last night with the car, and just like a base file that runs through the wizard. The car was correcting about 26%, and it laid down 501 horsepower, like nothing. So I actually came out here today and I springed up the wastegate. Before, this car was on about a 10-pound wastegate spring, and I put a 15-pound spring in it, hoping to make 15 to 20 pounds of boost on gate pressure, and then use the boost control to give it more than that. Because I feel like with the lighter spring in here, the back pressure around 20 to 23 pounds wouldn't really allow me to go much more in boost. So that's kind of why I wanted to spring the wastegate on the car. Yeah, so like I said, might do a few smaller videos today on just some of the small stuff with Holley, inputs, outputs, pin map, There's just a lot of stuff with the Holly. It's really cool. And thank you to everybody that has lent a hand to Hunter Tuned here, trying to figure out, you know, just working through the software and stuff like that. I've had some help from a couple really great guys. Number one, Sloppy Mechanics, Matt Happel over there has been a great help with helping me and Ryan get the Holly. I know they're kind of back ordered right now and they're kind of tough to get, but Matt reached out to me and Ryan and was willing to help us get some of the Hollies, and we definitely did. And he's been a great help with just kind of like, you know, me being annoying and bugging him with stupid little questions. And he's just been a great help. Jack Roberts has also helped out a bunch. Squirrel Tuned on YouTube, go check him out. And then my buddy Dominic, he's out, I think he's on the East Coast. He actually was running through the software with me, kind of showing me what stuff does and pin mapping and stuff like that. So now I should have a little bit better grasp on how everything works to be able to show you guys. But like I said, I like to have a, you know, clear understanding of everything going on before I try to film it, just because I don't want to give out, you know, wrong information or bad information. It's been a long day. We've been on the dyno literally all day with the Mustang. I got maybe a couple clips on my cell phone and a couple, maybe only one clip on the camera here. The car has been doing good, but it's just not making good horsepower. And I don't know if it's a issue with the dyno or if it's an issue with the car. I didn't change anything on the car. I pulled the motor and trans out and I redid the whole rear suspension, whole front suspension. And yeah. So like I said, I redid the whole front suspension, rear suspension, all that stuff. I pulled the motor and trans out, didn't even pull the exhaust manifolds off or nothing. And I just put it all back together. Pretty much exactly how it was. I changed from the Mega Squirt to the Holly, and I chucked it on the dyno with the same amount of ignition timing and the same air fuel as it had with the Mega Squirt, and the car is not laying down. It's down almost 200 horsepower comparatively to when the car was on Mega Squirt. So I don't really know what's going on, if it's a dyno, you know, compensation with the temperature and stuff that's going on now, because I don't remember exactly what the temperature was when we dynoed the car when it made, you know, 799 horsepower. I did make 722 horsepower at one point today, with the correction factor kind of high. It was adding a little bit of correction to it because of the air and the humidity today. And then I proceeded to set the correction to what the car was when we made 799, and it dropped off to, let me see here. So this is the run. It made 799. right here. And the dyno thought it was 74 degrees, 55% humidity. I believe on that day, it was like 35 degrees or 40 degrees. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was in the winter time. And it thought it was humid. So I feel like it's going to add or whatever, do the correction stuff, when it should have actually been pulling power out of the number on the dyno because it was colder. That's how this stuff works. If it's hotter, like if it's got, you know, 85 degrees and 75% humidity, it's going to add horsepower to the number. If it's cold outside, like 30 degrees and 40% humidity, it's going to take away from the number to give it a more realistic, you know, 70 degree, 60% humidity or whatever base setup. I can't remember what I did with Roy's car that had that white Buick Regal. I don't know what the correction was on that. But pretty much with the correction at what the sensor is built into the dyno, I've got to just start using that. I'm fucking tired, guys, and I'm lost, and I'm overthinking a lot of this stuff. But the car, on 23 pounds of boost, 15 degrees of ignition, 1180 air fuel, makes 633 to the tire, which seems low. Like it's down a hole. So I pulled the plugs out of the car, and one of the spark plugs was like partially stripped last year, and I completely dickered it when I pulled it out this time. So when I went to retighten it into the car, it never tightened back up. I kind of just like snugged it and hoped it was good. Ended up blowing the spark plug out of the cylinder and having to re-tap. The cylinder hadn't put an insert in there with the new spark plug, new insert, everything like that. Now it's holding the spark plug in the hole. It makes 633. I checked all the plugs. I checked individually to make sure every cylinder was hitting. It is, but for 23 pounds of boost on this turbo, I feel like I should be making 800 horsepower. I don't know what else could be wrong with the car. The only other things that I changed was the radiator. And obviously we changed all the stuff in the rear end. I don't know. And I dynoed it with the street tires the last time, and now I'm dynoing it with the 28s. It just sucks, guys. I'm like, I don't like filming struggles. I don't know why. I really should, because it's useful information. I just feel like I like to just show you guys the good stuff. And I gotta get better at starting to film processes of stuff and hardships. And yeah, I really got to get better at doing that. I just feel like ever since I got the new shop, I've had such an overwhelming positive response from everybody that I've just tried to keep that positivity the whole time. So I haven't, you know, told you guys a lot about like all the hardships and stuff that come about with a lot of these cars that I deal with. And like I said, I'm going to try to get better at it. And I'm gonna try to, you know, just start to film that stuff more. But it's really hard to manage my time. I am extremely ADD or ADHD, I don't know, ADD, whatever, where I have a one-track mind. And my one-track mind this week has been get the Mustang done. Get the Mustang done, go race it on Friday, whatever. In the meantime, I got my Civic done. I got a transmission for this truck that I'm working on. I got some other parts for this truck that we're doing for this customer. And this truck is kind of on a time crunch, but we've been waiting on the transmission, and I finally got it back today. So I have to do that. I have my website that I deal with on a daily basis that I cannot keep up with, and it's just really stressful when I'm trying to do my own stuff. It's really hard for me to like focus my attention on everything. I just focus on one thing at a time. I try to, but then again, it gets overwhelming because all the other stuff is still coming in and piling in and whatever. And I feel like I'm losing tons of customers because I don't get back to anybody. I feel like I didn't want this, I didn't want YouTube and you know, whatever, getting the shop and stuff. I didn't want it to come to this, and I felt like, oh, Boosted Boys and Cletus and all those guys, they don't get back to people because they're just dicks. And that's not the case, guys. Like, you get bigger with YouTube, you get bigger with business, you get bigger with anything really, and it's harder to manage. It's harder to manage your time, it's harder to manage whatever. And I am a racer at heart, let me tell you guys. And I really like to work on vehicles for people. I like to work on my own stuff. I like to do all of it, but there hasn't been any time for break time, or there hasn't been any time to just chill. And I'm not saying that I need that, because I don't. I feel like I can just go. I can do that. But it's, I don't know. It's tough to just manage all this stuff by myself. Yeah. I haven't been able to enjoy the shop and working on my own stuff, and now I'm doing it. I'm working on my own stuff for the last week. Like, I've taken 1 week out of the whole time I've had this shop to work on my own stuff. And it's biting me in the ass really bad. And I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be where I can do everything all at once, but I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to figure that out. I haven't been able to figure out that kind of balance. And there was a ton of stuff I could have filmed on the Mustang and stuff like that, but when I'm kind of overwhelmed and stressed with all the stuff that is going on and trying to get 100 things done at once, filming is the absolute last thing that I want to do. And that's why I just fucking babble to the camera after I'm done, because I'm like, I don't know what else to do. So, yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoy. We're going racing tomorrow. I'll probably just take the Civic. Do you guys want me to take the Mustang? See what it does? See what this 633 horsepower can actually do? Maybe the dyno's reading a little low. Maybe the car is actually running good, and we just don't know. Civic's running good. I don't think I told you guys about the Civic. I took the intercooler up by 821 Bravo, and we fixed, there was a giant crack in the intercooler. Like, the end tank was pretty much almost blown off. And we fixed that big old boost leak. I put a tile 44 millimeter wastegate on it, and we fixed another little boost leak that the intercooler had. And now I think the car will fly. I did a test on the street the other day, and I can make up to 40 pounds of boost if I want. I made 30 pretty effortlessly, 30 pounds of boost, and I feel like this thing will go full send, and it's pretty much ready to go. There's 2 track days this weekend. There's one Friday and Saturday. So I'm debating on maybe just running a car Friday and then run a car Saturday. I don't know what we're doing yet. Yeah. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I'm sorry if I piss you guys off sometimes. I'm sorry if I don't get back to people. I just want to live my own life sometimes, and it's really tough to do that for me without either feeling guilty or getting accused of stuff. It's tough. It's really tough. And if I can't live my own life and live you know, just have my own stuff to do, I'm not going to be happy, and I'm not going to be 100%. And I need to be 100%, especially if I'm doing the stuff I'm doing. That's it.